Hey, before we get started, I just want to make a quick announcement. Weberry has bags for their upcoming bottle drive over in the corner. So this evening or this afternoon, hopefully it won't be afternoon. Before you leave, if you want to grab a bag, it'll be right over there. If everyone is able, will you please stand for the pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
To the Venerable Norma Dulac, resident of Town of Sumner, County of Oxford, greetings. In the name of the state of Maine, you are required to warn the inhabitants of the town of Sumner and said county, qualified by law to vote in town affairs, to meet at the Hartford Sumner Elementary School on Saturday, June 20th, 2026, at 10 o'clock in the morning. Then and there to act on the following articles to wit. Article number 1 is we need to elect a moderator to preside at the meeting. So, do we have any nominations for moderator? Mr. Coon.
I'd like to nominate Mike Lance for moderator.
Okay, we have Mike Lance nominated for moderator. Do we have any other nominations?
I move the nomination cease.
Nominations have ceased. I need a minimum of 3 voters to vote in writing to nominate Mike Lance to be a moderator. There's ballots right over here.
Can you verify that this box is empty, sir? Yes, I confirm that box is empty. Can you confirm again that this box is empty, sir?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Mike, can you please come to the front here? Mike Lance, do you swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and of this state so long as you shall continue to be a citizen thereof? Do you swear that you will faithfully discharge to the best of your abilities the duties incumbent on you as moderator for the town of Sumner's annual town meeting, June 2026, according to the Constitution and laws of the state?
I'd like to make a motion to allow Diane Campbell to speak at this town meeting, due to the fact that she's a resident of Hartford and not Sumner.
Do you have a second on that motion? Any discussion? All in favor of, all opposed? I'm gonna say I do, I get myself in trouble. A couple of house cleaning things I'd like to read right away. If it's okay, I would like to approve approval to use the Maine Moderator's Manual, the 7th edition, 2021. The town has supplied you with one. I have one complete with coffee stains on it. As our guide for the meeting, there being no objection, we'll proceed in that way. In an article that does not include the amount of money, please make your motion with the amount you wish to have discussed. I will not accept a negative motion or pass over the article motion. Ordinances may not be amended. It will be helpful if when you address the meeting, you would state your name, and that's easy to do because most of you have your names on your cards, so that'll make it easier for me as well. Everyone will have a chance to speak, but I will not recognize repeat speakers until all first-time speakers have had their opportunity to address the attendees. If someone wants to move the question during a discussion, I will usually hold off on that if it seems to occur too early, because there might be additional discussion that might want to be made for that particular article. And if there is a challenge to a vote, I will need at least 7 in attendance to do that challenge. All right. That's my report. Oh, and one other thing, it's been a privilege for me to be a representative in the House of Representatives. I am seeking re-election. I've learned a lot in my 2 years, a lot that I can use in hopefully the next 2 years. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for that. Okay, article number 2. To see if the town will authorize the select person to set the tax due date with interest at 7.0% yearly to be charged on unpaid taxes beginning Sunday, February 1st, 2027. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? All in favor of Article 2? All opposed? Article 2 has passed. Article 3, to see if the town will vote to set the interest rate to be paid by the town on unabated taxes at 3.0% for the fiscal year of July 1, 2026 to June 30th, 2027. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there discussion on this article? All in favor of Article 3? All opposed? Article passes. There is an Article 3 note. I'll go ahead and read that because it is on my notes here. 36 MRSA Section 505-4A calls for the interest not to exceed the rate set for delinquent taxes to be less than the rate reduced by 4%. Article 4. To see if the town will vote to appropriate the sum of $632,000 from anticipated revenues from the general fund to decrease the 2026/2027 tax commitment. Do I have a motion on Article 4?
So moved the recommended amount.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion on Article 4? All in favor of Article 4 on the recommended amount? All opposed? Article 4. Article 5. To elect all necessary officers as are required to be elected by written ballot, MRSA Title 30A, Section 2525. The moderator, I will call for votes to check in, collect the ballot from deputy clerks, vote and return ballots to the ballot box. That's notes for me. Article 5 note, anticipated vacancies are one select person, assessor, overseer of the poor for a term of 3 years. I believe Mr. Glass has a motion. Article 5 note. So do we have a motion on Article 5? To move with the election. You'll second that? Is there any discussions on that election? All in favor of the election of Article 5? All opposed? Excellent.
We need to vote.
Need a vote.
Yes, the ballot are in here, so they're gonna check in with ballot clerks, and then you're gonna move to one side or the other, the deputy clerks are gonna give you a ballot, and then you'll, put it in the ballot box.
I will close the voting. Okay, a total of 40 votes were cast, all for Jeffrey Coons. So Jeffrey, will you come forward, please? I, Jeffrey Coons, do swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and of this state as long as I shall continue a citizen thereof. I, Jeffrey Coons, do swear that I will faithfully discharge to the best of my abilities the duties incumbent on me as select board member, assessor, overseer of the poor for the town of Sumner according to the Constitution and laws of the state. Appointment expires 6/30/2021. Now, do Mr. Glass has a motion.
Move that we aggregate Articles 6 through 15 for a single vote.
So the motion is to aggregate those articles together for a single vote. That would be Articles 6 through 15 for a single vote. Do I have a second? I have a second. Is there any discussion?
I just asked for just a few minutes just to read through and make sure I understand them all.
The request is just to read through those articles for a few minutes, absolutely. Further discussion on that motion and the second? Mr. Glass, speak to that.
The reason for including it, although we have adjusted the town meeting year, when we have the meeting, is that there is some precedent, 1 year, where we weren't able to have a town meeting in a timely manner. So this takes care of that eventuality, we would need to be able to carry forward for a period of time. Do you understand? We would, first, we would never need to use it, but we had used it in the past.
Further discussion on the aggregate of Articles 6 through 15? All in favor? All opposed? That motion carries. We will move forward. Yeah, we will actually need a paper ballot for. Show of hands. So may I have a show of hands again for those in favor of 6 to 15? And those opposed? Okay. We're on to Article 16. To fix the wages or salary for the road commissioner for the ensuing year. Select persons and budget committee recommend $5,000. Motion.
Move the recommended amount.
Move the recommended amount. Second. Any discussion on this article? All in favor? All opposed? Article 16 has passed. Article 17. To fix the salaries or wages of the select persons, assessors, and overseers of the poor for the ensuing year. The Budget Committee recommends $15,000, $5,000 per select person. Do I have a motion?
Move the recommended amount.
We recommend not. Second? Do we have discussion on Article 17? All in favor of Article 17? Okay, all opposed? Article 17 passes. Article 18. To see what sum of money the town will vote to authorize the select persons to raise and appropriate as they deem advisable to meet unanticipated expenses and emergencies that occur during fiscal year July 1, 2026 to June 30th, 2027. The select persons and budget committee recommends $2,000. And there's an explanation for Article 18. Having a contingency account can help avoid the necessary of calling a number of special town meetings during the year, when relatively minor issues can be resolved with the expenditure of minor sums. But no money has been appropriated for those purposes. Do I have a motion on Article 18? Move the recommended amount. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there discussion on Article 18? All in favor of Article 18? All opposed? Article 18 has passed. Article 19, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for general assistance for the ensuing year. Select persons and budget committee recommend $500. Do I have a motion?
Move the recommended.
Second? Is there discussion on this article? All in favor of the motion for the article? All opposed? Article 19 passes.
20, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for an emergency fund. The select persons recommend $25,000. The explanation for this article: these funds would be used in the event of a natural disaster or other emergency event. Having these funds available will allow for faster execution of services. FEMA monies typically reimburse the town for funds expended because of a disaster. Funds are not available up front. Is there a motion on Article 20? Do I have a second on Article 20? Is there discussion on Article 20? Those in favor of the motion? And those opposed? Article 20 passes. Article 21. To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for administration for the ensuing year. Select persons and budget committee recommend $359,000 and $359,090. Raise and appropriate $351,090. So A through L, the assessor update is $16,000. The audit services are $10,000. Building and ground maintenance are $29,940. Computer software update is $24,500. Dues, $4,800. Elections, $4,700. Office management, $18,850. Interest on abatements, $150. Legal fees, $20,000. Liens with receipts into lien account, $5,500. Tax map update, $1,550. Payroll, human resources, $223,100 for a total of $359,090. Balances carried forward from 2025 to 2026 fiscal year is $8,000. To raise and appropriate, $351,090. Article 21 note. Salaries breakdown: Mileage $650, training $2,000, select board $15,000, road commissioner $5,000, clerk $69,000, medical insurance $19,600, that's estimated, deputy clerk $45,800, training wages $7,500, the fire chief $3,000, fire department secretary $500, fire warden $550, health officer $200, code enforcement $18,000, social security and Medicare, EPL and unemployment $24,000, IRS penalties $3,500, payroll fees $2,550, MFMLA $1,800, the simple IRA match $4,450, carry forward $4,500, training wages, IRS penalties $3,500. Do I have a motion on that long Article 21? Move the recommended amount. Do I have a second on Article 21? Any further discussion on Article 21? Not an act there. Question?
Yes. My name is DeBerry. Just going forward, I noticed that you included wages for the road commissioner, $5,000 in this, and it looks like we already approved that a couple of articles ago.
So the previous articles were to set the amount, not to spend the amount.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Further discussion on Article 21? Are we ready to vote on Article 21? All in favor of Article 21? All opposed? Article 21 passes. Article 22. To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for protection for the ensuing year. Select persons and budget committee recommends $145,775 to raise and appropriate $1,306,775. That breaks down insurance, General liability workers' comp is $17,200. Fire department operations, $20,000. Firefighter insurance, $600. Fire department education and training, $15,000. Firefighter compensation, $25,000. Fire department equipment, $15,000. Streetlights, $3,900. Ambulance, $35,875. Street signs, $4,200, for a total of $145,775. Balance carried forward from 2025 to 2026 fiscal year, $9,000. The town raised and appropriate $1,306,775. Article 22 note. The current balance of the fire department truck account is $100.93. Estimated carry forward fire department equipment, $9,000. Do I have a motion on Article 22? Second? Is there further discussion on Article 22? Yes, Ms. Shad.
I'm just wondering if there's been any revenue that's come in yet from accidents that firefighters have attended. There been any reimbursements as of yet? There have not as of yet. We have only begun the billing process because there were some procedural issues on the fire department side. We're trying to work through it.
Further discussion on Article 22?
Yes. It's new to us.
It's new to Sumner, it's from New York.
Okay.
It's a nice job. Further discussion on Article 22? All in favor of Article 22? And all opposed? Article 22 passed. Article 23. To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for the support of social services for the ensuing year. Select persons and budget committee recommend $5,450. Community concepts, $300. Food bank, $1,350. Increase Robinson Library, $300. Lifelike, $800. Rural community action, $150. Safe Voices, $550. Seniors Plus, $500. Static Long Free Library, $1,500, for a total of $5,450. Question?
I'm sorry?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Make a motion.
Is there a motion on Article 23? Set the amount. Do I have a second on Article? Do I have discussion on Article 23? Ms. Fino?
Yes, I would like to propose an amended amount to the food bank of $1,500 rather than $1,350.
Do I have a second on that motion? I have a second. Do I have further discussion on that article? On the amendment of $1,500? So we will vote on the amended amount of $1,500. Any further discussion on that? All in favor of the amendment of $1,500? Okay, all opposed? I'll set that amount. Ms. Norton?
Yes, Cindy Norton, I'd just like to point out that the increased Robinson Library is at 15 Main Street, right down there at the intersection. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we are open 9 to noon. You do not need an appointment. Please come and visit us and learn your history.
Thank you, Ms. Norton. Article 24. To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for winter roads for the ensuing year. Oh, on the article. I voted on the amendment.
The new total is $5,600.
The new total, thank you, the new total on that with the amendments is $5,600 to change that article amount. You ready to vote on that new amount with Article 23? All in favor of the new amount of $5,600? All opposed? Article 24. To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for winter roads for the ensuing year. Select persons and budget committee recommend $496,500. Winter roads plowing, $384,000. Winter roads salt, $48,750. Winter roads sand was $48,750. Winter roads salt, $63,750 for a total of $496,500. Do I have a motion on Article 24? Do I have a second? You ready to vote on the motion? All in favor of Article 24 motion? Okay. All opposed? Article 24 passes. Article 25. To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for summer roads, bridges, and maintenance for the ensuing year. Select persons and budget committee recommend $117,000. Article 25 note. Regular maintenance breakdown, patching $6,000, tree and brush removal $20,000, grading and rock breaking $15,000, culvert replacement $20,000, ditching and adding some gravel to gravel roads $56,000. Do I have a motion on Article 25? Do I have a second on Article 25? Any discussion on Article 25? All in favor of Article 25? All opposed? Article 25 passes. Article 26. To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for road equipment and repair for the ensuing year. The select persons and budget committee recommend $5,000. Is there a motion on Article 26? Do I have a second? Is there discussion on Article 26? All in favor of Article 26? All opposed? Article 26. Article 26 passes. Article 27, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for road improvements projects for the ensuing year. The select persons and roads committee recommend $399,725. A note on Article 27 for road projects including paving of Gammon Road. Do I have a motion on Article 27? Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on Article 27? Ms. Norton?
Last year, I believe money was raised to finish the paving on Bonnie Road. Is that money still there, or is that being used for this new project? And if so, will we need to raise money again to finish paving Bonnie Road?
So last year we raised money for base coating Bonnie Road and the repair of Bonnie Road. And then this year, if we were going to pave top coat Bonnie Road, that would be in part of this article. But because Bonnie Road was paved so late in the season, we chose to let it settle for a year before we top coat it. So next year when we go to town meeting, we will be voting to top coat Bonnie Road, and then whatever money else is in that article or like would be Labrador Pond. So if you didn't get one on that table over there or in, page 18, it gives a intent on when we're gonna pave and what projects are gonna be done. In the base coat, obviously the previous year would mean when we do the actual repair. So that's just a tentative timeline. That answers.
Further discussion on Article 27.
So we ain't gonna pay, Bonnie Road this year?
Correct. We're not gonna top coat Bonnie Road this year.
Further discussion on Article 27.
When we gonna do Gammon Road?
Well, providing that this article passes, we'll start the process as soon as possible. We've got 3 quotes going out, 2 have come back in for paving on what it's gonna actually cost. As far as when pavement will actually be put down, we don't have that date as of yet. The first 2 quotes were within $5,000 of each other. I don't remember the exact amount, Sean just told me 20 minutes before the meeting, but, so, yeah, as soon as we can get the pavement company here, we're hoping it's not gonna be November like it was last year, so.
Why are you gonna pay on, Gammon Road?
I'm sorry?
How wide? 18 feet wide? Oh, it's gonna be 9 foot like, okay. Just like Bonnie Road. Yep.
Further discussion, Article 27. All in favor of Article 27? Okay. All opposed? Motion passes. Article 28. To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for recreation for the ensuing year. The Select Persons and Budget Committee recommend $1,800. Motion on Article 28. Do I have a second on the motion? I have a second. Any discussions on Article 28? All in favor of Article 28? All opposed? Article 28 passes. Article 29. To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for Planning Board and Appeals Board for the ensuing year. Select Persons and Budget Committee recommend $2,900. Do I have a motion on Article 29? I have a second. Any discussion on Article 29? All in favor of Article 29? And all opposed? Article 29 passes. Article 30. To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for animal control for the ensuing year. Select Persons and Budget Committee recommend $12,100. Do I have a motion for Article 30? Do I have a second? I have a second. Is there discussion on Article 30? Ms. Schaff?
Please speak to what the salary, what the pay has been for the last few years, what the pay increase has been. So this past year, the, animal control officer was making a stipend of $475 per month, plus mileage. This would be an increase to $675 per month. $625 per month plus mileage.
Do I have further discussion on Article 30?
If we're having a discussion, I would just be curious, show of hands, how many people in town actually think we need an animal control officer if the town is small? Or if the town essentially handle their town animal problems themselves.
Mr. Bass?
I think it's been demonstrated to us that we need an animal control officer. We've, tried to handle this on our own at a lower cost, and that has not been a happy experience.
I would agree.
When was that?
Up until about 2 years ago, we were doing it in-house. Sean tried it for a while, and
There's a lot to it.
when you get an animal that's, not a good animal, and you put Sean or anyone else, or your neighbor, because your neighbor could do it, then you're in the position of having your neighbor shoot your dog, or your cow, or anything else that's loose.
Further discussion, sir? No further discussion? All in favor of Article 30? And all opposed? Article 30 passed. Article 31. To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for emergency management for the ensuing year. The select persons and budget committee recommend $2,300. Do I have a motion for Article 31?
Recommended.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on Article 31? All in favor for Article 31? All opposed to Article 31? Article 31 passes. Article 32. To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for the purchase of Memorial Day flags, care of cemeteries, mowing of the town beach, old landfill site, and the town office complex signs and lawns. Select persons and budget committee recommend $15,200. Is there a motion for Article 32?
Recommended.
Do I have a second for Article 32? Is there any discussion for Article 32? Ms. Norton?
I'd like to know who has the contract, is it a 3-year or 5-year, and how many years into the contract are we?
Kyle McCafferty has the contract right now. The contract is a 3-year contract. We're on the last year of that contract. And the contract is for $14,000. The additional, so he does the mowing, and then the additional money is to purchase the flags. We pay, we also have a separate contract to develop the old landfill site, and that's Jeremy Johnson. That was also a 3-year contract, and we're in the 2nd year of that contract.
Further discussion? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm Tim Goodrich. I'm brand new to the town of Sumner. What about the VFW and the American Legion pitching in for the flags? Because I know there's funds set apart nationally for programs like that. Has that been considered, even looked at, or thought about?
It has not, no.
Yeah, okay, because I would imagine if you talk to the American Legion or VFW in the areas, they may donate X amount of money for flags.
Okay. Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you, sir. Further discussion on Article 31? I'm sorry, Article 32. All in favor of Article 32? Okay. All opposed to Article 32? Article 32 passes. Article 33. To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for solid waste operations for the ensuing year. Select persons and budget committee recommend $131,500. Do I have a motion for Article 32? Recommended amount. Do I have a second for Article 32? Second. Is there discussion on Article 33? All in favor of Article 33? And all opposed to Article 32? 33 passes. Article 34, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate to restore and protect town historical records. Select persons in the budget committee recommending $5,000. Do I have a motion for Article 34? Do I have a second for Article 34? Is there any discussion for Article 34? Yes.
Who does that work?
The-
We ship most of that out to Co-File. They're a company that, does all of the preservation. We send it out to them in a prepackaged, box, and they send it back to us all sleeved up and anti-acid and all that great stuff.
Further discussion on Article 34? All in favor of Article 34? And all opposed to Article 34? Article 34 passes. Article 35. To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate to save for the next revaluation. Select persons and budget committee recommend $10,000. Article 35 note. The current account balance is $20,750. Do I have a motion for Article 35? Do I have a second for Article 35?
Second.
Any discussion on Article 35?
I have a question, like how much does it cost to have it revalued?
So the last time we had a revaluation, it cost us a little over $90,000. So the theory is that if we can save a little bit of money every year for 10 years, it will probably cost us more than $100,000 the next time, but it is what we're
But
trying
it's
to
done
think
every
about.
10 years.
Right, instead of every 10 years raising everybody's taxes because we have to shell out $100,000.
Further discussion on Article 35? Yes, sir.
Is that when the assessor comes around?
Correct.
Is that what that's for?
Yep.
Can you just tell them not to come around?
We can, but then that affects the subsidies that we get from the state.
Further discussion on Article 35? All in favor of Article 35? All opposed? Article 35 passes. Article 36. To see if the town will vote to accept the site plan review ordinance as amended at the public hearing. The full ordinance is available at the town office and on www.townofsumner.me.
There are also drafts.
There are drafts on the table as well. Do I have a motion on Article 36? We have a motion. Do I have a second for Article 36? Is there a discussion on Article 36?
What are we talking about? Like, what site plan over?
The site plan ordinance is amended at the public hearing.
Yep, it's in order, well, Nick, do you want to?
So the site plan review ordinance, so, this is that sort of thing of what is the review process for something like that, for, a permit.
Further discussion on Article 36? All in favor of Article 36? All opposed? Article 36 passes. Article 37. To see if the town will vote to accept the emergency 911 adjusting ordinance as presented at the public hearing. The full ordinance is available at the town office and on www.townofsumner.me. Do I have a motion on Article 37? Do I have a second? Any discussion on Article 37? Yes, sir.
Is there a cost that, goes with that?
There is a cost because the ordinance will, effectively make it so that we have to have more private roads. There's a small cost to signage
And speaking personally, it's important to get the fire truck to the right place. Any further discussion on Article 37? All in favor of Article 37? And all opposed to Article 37? Article 37 passes. Article 38. To see if the town will vote to accept the building notification as amended at the public hearing. The full notification is available at the town office and on www.townofsumner.me. Is there a motion for Article 38? Motion? Is there a second for Article 38? Any discussion on Article 38? Yes, sir.
Our planning board chair is gonna speak to that.
Yeah, so the building notification changes are basically to bring it in line with the reality of the way the building notifications work. So in the old or the current building notification, if you wanted to make a pump house, right, so like a 2x2 with a roof, like you technically need a building notification. The changes that we made basically exempt certain types of buildings and certain sizes of buildings. The other big change is the renovation number. I think it's currently at 3,500, and that's significantly increased. So you won't need a building notification for certain levels of renovation.
Interior renovations, is that correct? Or just any?
Renovations which don't affect the footprint. Yeah,
Okay,
footprint.
renovations that don't affect the footprint of the building.
It's not getting bigger. You're just doing over a room, something like that.
No, non-structural, so just refinishing bedrooms, bathrooms, basic stuff, nothing, structural, so no additions or anything like that, just, basic renovations.
Am I correct in saying that it's 100 square feet, that you don't need one, is that correct?
So originally, there is no minimum current, in the current ordinance. So what we did is we brought it to 150 square feet. Anything under 150 square feet, which is not due to occupancy, is not required to have a building notification. It doesn't mean that you won't be taxed on it, it's just that you're not required to submit the notification.
Clarification, we're voting on the building notification ordinance, correct, not the building notification form?
No, we are voting on the form, correct?
The ordinance. Should this be corrected somehow, or is it just implied?
You can just write it in there. I wrote it in, you can write it in the ordinance. And it will be in the meeting notes.
Further discussion, Article 38. All in favor of Article 38? And all opposed to Article 38? Article 38 passes. Article 39. To see if the town will vote to establish the fire department capital equipment reserve account pursuant to 30-A MRS Statute 5801-2 for the purpose of financing life-saving equipment for the Sumner Volunteer Fire Department, including, but not limited to, SCBA, self-contained breathing apparatus, air tanks, and to see what sum the town will raise and/or appropriate into said account. The Select Persons and Budget Committee recommend $25,000. Do I have a motion on Article 39? Do I have a second? Do I have discussion on this Article 39? All in favor of Article 39? Thank you. And all opposed to Article 39? Article 39 passes. There is a note to that. The Sumner Volunteer Fire Department will need to upgrade essential life-saving equipment, including but not limited to air tanks, to remain in compliance with state and federal standards. The plan is to upgrade over a 5-year plan with an estimated total of $125,000. And then there was one, Article 40. To see if the town will vote to accept the shoreline zoning ordinance as amended at the public hearing. The full ordinance is available at the town office and on www.townofsumner.me. Do I have a motion on Article 40? Do I have a second? All in favor of Article 40? I'm sorry, excuse me, yeah, discussion on Article 40 first. Sorry.
Ask again, what's the major difference? What's the difference between what we had and what we're gonna have?
That's a fair question. So our maps that we had for our state brought the maps up to compliance with the larger ordinance up to compliance. The bottom line is that we are bound by the state law here, so we're bringing that ordinance into compliance with state law. We're not making, like, there are very few places where you can choose. So anywhere where it's already like, this is what the town had, we kept it, but anywhere where it's, have conflict that helps us with the spending things, that, hey, this is what you need to do to bring it into state compliance, that's what we did. You'll see the maps up there on that rolling board. I think the biggest change to note is on the east side of town by Bunganok Brook, that's like why the maps weren't in compliance, is there was some stuff missing there in terms of like floodplain and things like that, so you'll see that on the map now. But again, you know, this is about matching what the state says you have to have.
Further discussion on Article 40? All in favor of Article 40? Okay. And all opposed to Article 40? Article 40 passed.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor of the motion to adjourn? And all opposed?